breaking news and severe weather first. This is Fox 23 News, Saturday.
Your children's safety. Hundreds of fathers learn how to build strong relationships with their daughters. Hear why a strong bond is important to keep kids safe. Big help. Going over on your cell phone minutes can cost you big, but now new technology makes it easier to keep track of minutes. After the storm, Hurricane Charlie leaves a path of destruction across southern states, and that story is first on Fox. People are cleaning up and trying to move on with their lives after Hurricane Charlie devastates parts of Florida. Good evening, I'm Diane White. The death toll from the storm is 15 right now, but that number is expected to go up. First on Fox tonight, Jonathan Series in Florida with the latest.
The people either did not heed our warning to evacuate or they just simply disregarded it.
The search for bodies continues at a mobile home park in Charlotte County. Residents had decided to wait out Hurricane Charlie here, not expecting the eye of the storm would make a direct hit on their community.
There were about 100 mobile homes in that particular area, but as to how many stayed behind, it's almost impossible to determine at this time.
A pile of debris is all that remains of this pawn shop in downtown Punta Gorda, but its owners say they're fortunate that's all they lost.
These are material things. You can always rebuild and start over, but you can't bring back the dead.
How do I get help? You're going to get help from FEMA.
After touring the devastation, Florida Governor Jeb Bush promised full state assistance for storm victims and a crackdown on unscrupulous contractors who try to take advantage of their misery.
Price gouging, ripping people off, selling building materials at higher prices. When we find out about it, those folks are going to jail.
Here is more information. Volunteers from right here in the Tulsa area are helping victims of Hurricane Charlie. 8 volunteers from the local chapter of the American Red Cross left last night, and they're headed to Alabama. From there, the Red Cross will send them to the areas that need them the most. They'll help feed people and assist with family casework. If you would like to help and donate money for victims of Hurricane Charlie, you can call 1-800-HELP-NOW, and we will have that number again in our reminder segment.
With 5 live radars keeping you safe, this is your Fox First forecast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to give you an update on the very latest of what's left of Hurricane Charlie. It's been downgraded now to a tropical storm, and right now it's basically an area of rain moving up the East Coast. Right now you're looking at the coastline of Virginia. Here's Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. Even New York City's picking up some rain right now. It's just an area of rain and wind. Top winds are about 50 miles per hour, and it's moving very quickly at over 30 miles per hour up the northeast coastline, and it'll continue to track this way later on tonight. We'll have more on this a little later. Let's talk about Oklahoma. Our weather here is very nice. Once again, temperatures dropping into the 60s, down to 66 right now. Claremore, Bartlesville, 67, still 77 in Tulsa, and Tahlequah with 68. We're in the middle of another pleasant night. Pleasant weather, partly cloudy skies, readings dropping into the 60s. And by tomorrow morning, another morning with temperatures in the 50s. Here in Tulsa, looking at 59, another cool morning, so just enjoy the weather. A lot of people have been asking, is this the coolest summer we've ever had? We've done some homework and we've got some answers. All the forecast details coming up at 9:30. Diane?
Okay, thanks, George. A man's in intensive care tonight after he was beaten outside a Tulsa club. Police say that early this morning, a group of men were in the Night Trips parking lot when a man driving a gold Honda almost ran over them. They argued, and police say that the driver of that car beat 22-year-old Eric White. Police are still looking for the gold Honda. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers at 596-COPS. And the family of a Tulsa man who was beaten and later died is a step closer to a possible grand jury investigation. The family of Sean Howard filed a petition Friday. Howard owned this Deadtown Tavern in downtown Tulsa. He was beaten during a fight with a homeless man June 25th outside the club and died 5 days later. The Tulsa County District Attorney ruled it self-defense. A judge will now review the Howard's petition and decide whether or not to have a grand jury review the case. A trucker whose tractor trailer resembles one that investigators believe is linked to a serial killer has been questioned and released. The man did not fit the description of the suspect that authorities are looking for. Police are looking for a man in his mid-20s to 30s. He has a cleft chin, 2 gold-plated teeth, and speaks with a Jamaican accent. He drives a yellow big rig with a Tasmanian devil decal. He is believed to be the last person to see Damika McHenry alive. She was found dead at a rest stop last weekend. A teenager is hit by a car while illegally crossing a busy street. Police say that it happened today when a group of boys tried to cross this street in East Tulsa. A driver had to swerve and missed 3 of the boys, but the car hit a 14-year-old. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. A little girl badly burned in a house fire is back home tonight. Now, this is an update to an exclusive story we brought you last month. Firefighters say kids playing with a lighter started the fire July 11th at this home in East Tulsa. 2 children had minor burns and smoke inhalation, but the oldest child had 2nd and 3rd degree burns on 20% of her body. Fox 23's Mia Fleming spent some time with the family today, and Mia, this fire has changed their lives.
Yes, it is, Diane. The family has just been able to move back into their home, and I'm in the kids' room where the fire started. They have new paint, new bed, and new carpet. But while one child is still recovering tonight, the parents are taking steps to make sure their children never play with fire again.
They know now that lighters are very dangerous, and they're not to be played with. It's been tough.
A tough lesson learned, says this mother of 4. She says after the fire sent her children, little Matthew, Stephanie, and Casey, to the hospital, she wondered if they would ever be a happy family again. For weeks, Jamie Brown watched as 2 of her kids recovered from their injuries, but she worried if her 10-year-old daughter Casey, who suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns to 20% of her body, would ever have fun again.
It was hard. She didn't know us.
Still scarred from the fire, Jamie says Casey is slowly getting back to her old self. And while she recovers, the family is going through the fire department's Operation Fire Safe program to make sure they never play with fire again. They do homework assignments on fire safety and spend hours at a time talking about the dangers of fire and how to make better choices.
Talk to your kids about fire and danger. Make sure your smoke alarms are working. Make sure they keep their lighters put up away from their children.
Jamie is very serious about each lesson. She says she knows next time she and her kids might not be so fortunate.
It could have been a lot worse. I mean, they might not even be here. I'm thankful that they're alive and well.
Now, little Casey will be going to burn camp in the next couple of weeks to continue her recovery while her parents try to recover financially from the fire. If you would like to donate to the Brown family, you can call 437-1659. Reporting live in East Tulsa, Mia Fleming, Fox 23 News.
Okay, here are more details. If you would like to find out about the fire department's Operation Fire Safe program, get a free smoke detector, or make sure that yours is working properly, you can call the fire department at 669-6186. And of course, we'll have that number again in our reminder segment. A soldier from Oklahoma is killed in Afghanistan. The Army says 30-year-old Sergeant Daniel Lee Galvin from Moore died in a helicopter crash. It happened Thursday in Afghanistan. The crash injured 24 other soldiers. The military is still investigating the cause of the crash. A lawyer for the man known as the American Taliban wants the Department of Justice to review the case. John Walker Lynn was sentenced to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to helping the Taliban government of Afghanistan. Lynn's attorneys asked for the review after government lawyers announced that they're negotiating for the permanent release of another U.S. citizen captured on a battlefield in Afghanistan. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that enemy combatants cannot be held indefinitely without legal rights. Tens of thousands of troops overseas could soon be back in the U.S. President Bush is expected to announce a plan Monday to move 70,000 soldiers to U.S. bases. Most of the soldiers will come from bases in Europe and Asia. Right now, there are about 100,000 troops in Europe and another 100,000 in the Asia-Pacific region. The new school year is starting and thousands of teachers are back at work, so some local businesses are giving those teachers a boost. The Staples store on Harvard sponsored a Teacher Appreciation Day today. Staples worked with several other businesses to give teachers some free food and gift certificates that they can use throughout the school year. And the teachers say they appreciate this extra attention.
Personally, the hundreds and thousands of dollars that I spend in my classroom a year, this is just kind of a little pat on the back and a thank you to me and helping me, so I don't need to spend quite so much.
Staples also gave each teacher a free bag of school supplies. The other sponsors include Sonic, Papa John's, Pizza, and Jiffy Lube. And get ready to shell out some cash as you send your kids back to school. A survey from USA Today shows that 21% of parents spend more than $250 on back-to-school clothes. Another 20% spend more than $350. About half of the parents surveyed say they spend less than $250. Another 10%, though, don't know exactly what they spend. This story is the topic of tonight's Fox 23 Flash Poll question. Do you think that back-to-school supplies are too expensive? Just call 388-5302 to vote yes, or 388-5303 if you'd like to vote no, and we will update the results a little later in the hour. Well, starting your own business can be a challenge, but there's a class that can make it easier. Coming up, you'll meet a woman whose business is booming because of it. Oh, I apologize. There is one back-to-school item parents can get for free: shots for their kids. The Oklahoma Caring Van is stopping at cities and towns all across northeastern Oklahoma. Healthcare workers provide free immunizations for kids. The Caring Van helps parents save money and helps keep their kids healthy. Now we're going to talk about starting your own business. It can be a challenge, but there's a class that can make it easier. Meet a woman whose business is booming because of it. And you could talk away all of your cell phone minutes without even realizing it, but now there's a new easy way to keep track.
Hundreds of fathers and daughters improved their relationships today. Up next, learn why all parents need to get tuned in to their kids.
But first, you're looking live at downtown Tulsa. This is Fox 23 News Saturday.
Covering breaking news and severe weather first. This is Fox 23 News Saturday with Diane White. The Sports Buzz with Kenny Choi. And meteorologist George Flickinger with 5 live radars keeping you safe.
Fathers and daughters from Oklahoma and several surrounding states are spending time getting closer. Quite a crowd as the National Center for Fathering sponsors the Gateway to Blessing. This is a workshop to help dads and daughters bond and improve their communication. And as Fox 23's Angela Gwynn explains, experts say it's important for parents to stay in tune with their children.
That's right, Diane. Experts will tell you don't assume anything. Ask questions. Find out what pressures your child is facing. Because if you don't, chances are your son or daughter is struggling all alone.
And then this is Sarah when she was a baby.
Wendell Henderson is the proud father of 3 girls.
Well, Sarah, she's very athletic.
Sarah is the oldest and is about to start her first year of high school at Jinx.
Certain things dads don't want to know, you know.
That's when mom comes into the picture, but this dad knows that's something he wants to work on.
I want to be a listening ear for her.
And he's learning today that communication is essential. Here's why. Research shows nearly half of high school teens are already sexually active. And the scary part is 84% of parents don't even think their teens are having sex.
We find when dads aren't there, daughters are more vulnerable. They're more vulnerable to the cultural forces, which will take them away from that dignity and beauty.
And according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, 82% of high school seniors have used alcohol. 50% have used marijuana, and 9% have used cocaine. So it's clear Sarah will face some tough decisions as she enters high school.
Everything from peer pressure to boy relationships.
And Wendell plans to stick by her side through thick and thin.
I always want my daughter to feel like she can share the tough things with me. I love my girls.
Some parents are uncomfortable talking with their kids about things like sex and drugs, but experts will tell you to start talking to them about those hot topics as early as 4 or 5 years old, in ways, of course, that they can understand. Keep in mind, though, it's never too late to start. In the newsroom, Angela Gwynn, Fox 23 News.
Here is more information. About 250 father-daughter pairs attended today's workshop. Now, if you're interested in going to the next seminar, or you'd like more information, all you need to do is log on and go to our website at fox23.com. You can click on the link section, then click on Father-Daughter Summit. More people in Tulsa are starting their own business, and a program in North Tulsa is helping them do it. This is a follow-up to a story we brought you in January of last year. There were 2 sisters who wanted to open a hat shop. They took the class, and they've seen the dream come true. Today, 18 months later, they had their grand opening. Tonight in our coverage of You Decide 2004, President Bush remembers victims of Hurricane Charlie as he campaigns in Iowa. The president wrapped up a 5-day campaign swing with a spirited rally in this battleground state. He spoke to farmers in Sioux City about his agricultural and energy policies. He also talked about Hurricane Charlie, saying the federal government will respond quickly with financial aid. President Bush plans to visit Florida tomorrow. Senator John Kerry took some time out for a bike ride today. Earlier in the day, he spoke at a star-studded rally in Oregon. There was John Bon Jovi and Leonardo DiCaprio at the rally. It was on Portland's waterfront. Kerry will now take a few days off after a 15-day, 22-state trek across the country. Well, closer to home, thousands of Tulsa residents learned how to get an ultimate makeover today. Clear Channel had an expo that had a variety of seminars and exhibits. There was everything from facials to exercise and, of course, some coffee samples. They even got to meet some members of the Fox 23 News team. We were all over there this morning. Now, the goal was to give people information on how to be their best. Well, it's not every day you hear about people drinking beer for a good cause. That's what happened today in Tulsa at the 6th annual Wild Brew. It was a fundraiser for the Nature Conservancy. For $40, people had a chance to taste beer from around the world. They raised money for the Nature Conservancy's programs right here in the Sooner State. Well, a brand of coffee made in the Sooner State could be dangerous. Find out why the company recalled thousands of pounds of beans in our Look at the Economy first. But first, a piece of history comes crashing to the ground. Hear why this building was destroyed next when we cover America. And you're watching Fox 23 News Saturday.
You're watching KOKI Fox 23 Tulsa. Complete coverage of Okmulgee, Broken Arrow, and Tulsa. This is Fox 23 News Saturday.
Covering America tonight, a piece of history crumbles to the ground in Illinois. The General Motors foundry in Tilton was imploded. This defense plant corporation built the foundry in 1943 to support the war. Now, at one time, the GM plant had 2,400 workers. Landowners have already sold part of the property to several businesses. Next, crews will prepare the site over the next few months. In Arizona, a massive dust storm makes a big mess near Phoenix. The storm reduced visibility on roads and caused several minor accidents. No word of any deaths or injuries. This is the second dust storm this week in Arizona. On Wednesday, another storm did cause a series of deadly accidents, killing 4 people and injuring 42 others. And in Indiana, police arrest a couple accused of locking their 10-year-old daughter in her room for the last 2 years with the window nailed shut. The girl was only allowed to leave her room to eat and go to school. The couple said they were punishing her for misbehaving and stealing food. Prosecutors have charged them with neglect and confinement. Some coffee beans may not be safe to drink, and they're made right here in the Sooner State. A recall tops tonight's look at the economy first. Oklahoma City-based Neighbors Coffee is recalling nearly 20,000 pounds of whole bean coffee. This coffee could contain undeclared nuts that could be dangerous for people who have nut allergies. The recall covers 8-ounce, 1-pound, and 5-pound bags of nut-flavored coffee made February 12th through August 12th. You can call the company at 1-800-299-9016 for more information. We'll have that number again in our reminder segment. Well, U.S. Airways had a bad week on Wall Street. Its shares dropped about 25%. The plummet happened after an investment banker for the pilots union said that the airline's finances are as bad as claimed. The union promises to speed up contract talks. The airline wants to cut about $300 million in wages and benefits. A mild, sunny Saturday again in green country, but of course it's still August. Are hotter temperatures headed our way? Well, here's the man with the answer. Meteorologist George Flickinger with a look at the local forecast. Hi, George.
Hey, Diane, we know we are going to warm up sometime, but this cool weather, really unusually cool weather continues, and we've hit the record books today. We wondered, when is the last time the summer has been this cool? All the answers are coming up next.
But first, some colleges make it easier for women to get birth control. Hear why that's sparking controversy. A health alert is next. And don't forget to vote in tonight's Fox 23 Flash Poll. This is Fox 23 News Saturday.
coverage of Bixby, Glenpool, and Tulsa. This is Fox 23 News, Saturday.
Some women can now get free birth control without going to a doctor's office, and some people don't like this idea. That story tops tonight's Health Alert. 3 college campuses have contraceptive kiosks that allow women to order by mail free condoms and birth control pills. A family planning group is testing the machines. The kiosks allow women between the ages of 15 and 44 to sign up for a Medicaid planning waiver. About 48,000 women have enrolled since June. But some conservatives argue that the kiosks promote sex to teenage girls. Well, it's never too late to change your health habits. Studies show that starting a healthy lifestyle, even late in life, could still reduce the risk of cancer. The study followed a group of women aged 55 to 69. Researchers found of the women who got cancer, 22% of the cases could have been avoided by simply eating healthier and exercising regularly. Teaching people to use defibrillators or AEDs can double the survival rate of heart attack victims. Research shows that if those AEDs are available in health clubs, shopping malls, and other public places, they could save about 2,000 to 4,000 lives each year. Up to 450,000 people die of cardiac arrest a year. Well, if you're looking for a 4-legged friend, we have some animals for you to meet tonight. First, there's Tiffany. She's a shepherd mix, about 1 to 2 years old. Oh, Tiffany's very sweet, and they say she'll even beg for treats. Well, if you'd rather have a feisty feline, here's one. It's Dexter. He's the cat for you. Look at him. He's about 1 year old, and as you can see, very playful. If you're interested in either of the pets, all you need to do is call the Tulsa Animal Shelter at 669-6299.
From the only station with 5 live radars keeping you safe, this is Fox 23 weather.
Oh, he was a cute little cat. You know, little Dexter.
Yeah, take him home with you and shred all your furniture the same night. Looks like fun.
It's been a wild time down south in the southeast part of the country with the Hurricane Charlie. So
looks like the worst of it, though, is certainly over with. It's kind of just weakened down to a big area of rain, and shortly it's going to be completely gone. So good news as Charlie starts to move away. Let's take a look at the Vortex Storm Tracker. We're going to show you the very latest on Charlie. First, though, we'll show you northeastern Oklahoma. There's no rain out there tonight, but that could be changing for tomorrow. We do have a chance of rain in our forecast for tomorrow. Not a great chance. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. Let's zoom on over to the East Coast. For now, Tropical Storm Charlie. Right now, this is a big area of rain and moderate wind. The center of circulation is a little hard to pick out, but it is right in here. Let me pick it out right here. It is just about paralleling the coastline as it moves up the Atlantic seaboard. Heavy rain spreading into Philadelphia, also New York City, feeling the impacts from this storm as rain makes its way on in. The strong wind is fairly confined to the center here, and by this time tomorrow, Charlie will not even be a weather story. It's going to be well off into the Atlantic Ocean as it accelerates away. So one more night of heavy rain to our east. Let's come back in Oklahoma, see how we're doing outside tonight. And right now we are at 73 degrees. We are on our way down to the 60s and the 50s. If you're keeping track, this is going to be the 5th morning in a row. Tomorrow morning will be the 5th morning in a row with temperatures in the 50s across northeastern Oklahoma. Our high temperature today was 83 degrees. Our low this morning at 58. Right now, northeast wind at 7 miles per hour. Let's have a look at the weather computer. This is what we were talking about as far as us doing some weather research today. Now, as you know, we haven't hit 100 degrees this year. We probably won't. Our average high temperature so far this summer is 87 degrees. So a lot of folks have been asking, George, when is the last time the weather, and they say my name like that, when is the last time the weather has been this cool in the summer? This is the coolest summer we have had in over 40 years. I had to go back to 1961 to find the last time the weather was this cool across northeastern Oklahoma. Now, we are going to be warming up a little bit over the next few days, but overall, the coolish weather is going to continue. Right now, Claremore's got 67 degrees, 66 Inola, 73 in Tulsa, 68 in Jinx. Look at Bartlesville, down to 61 on their way down to the 50s for tomorrow morning. Now, again, tomorrow, we're going to see some clouds and some rain trying to spread in late in the day. The best chance of rain on Sunday is going to be to our west, but Sunday night and Monday, as some of these disturbances move on in, our rain chances for all of northeastern Oklahoma will be going up. But again, Highest rain chances tomorrow will be to our west. Here's a look at our weather pattern right now. As you know, we've had this cooler than usual summer in this area of low pressure all the way in Canada. Way up to our north, this is affecting our weather. This is forcing the jet stream all the way down, allowing this cooler air to move on in. The really hot weather staying out to the west. Now, the next couple of days, we're going to see this cool weather retreating just a bit, but there are still no signs of any major heat waves headed this way. So enjoy the weather. Feels nice. In the morning, 57 McAllister, Muskogee 58, Tahlequah 55. We pull back out, kind of show everyone. Bristow 58, Oilton 57 in the morning, so back down to the 50s. Once again tomorrow, a chance of rain trying to spread in from the west later on in the day. Highs tomorrow, about where they were today. There goes Wagner, 82, 84 Bristow, 83 Western Creek County, Bartlesville. Right there, 82, 81 in Nowata for tomorrow. Here's our forecast in detail for tonight. The cool weather continues, looking at 59. That'll be nice here in Tulsa in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll have that chance of rain trying to spread in late in the day from the west. 83, some fast-moving clouds going by, partly cloudy skies on Sunday. So once again, we'll have a chance of rain late Sunday, early Monday. Not a substantial chance of rain. I don't think we'll see anything really heavy, but will be some showers on the Vortex Storm Tracker. Monday, 85 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday back closer to 90, then cooling off again as clouds and some showers head this way. Overall, it looks like next week is going to be warmer than this past week, but still, if 91 is the warmest you have in a 7-day forecast, life is good.
In August especially. Good running weather.
Great weather continues, and you're going to be, you told me you're going to be jogging for what, 20 hours in the morning?
20 hours. 3.
She's a serious jogger. You're going to jog for 3 hours?
I'm training for something. It's not all fun. I'm heading to Colorado, and there's a chance that Colorado will actually be hotter than Oklahoma.
That's true. It's just such a weird summer, and that reminds me, you're going to be jogging. We'll talk more about that tomorrow night.
Yes, we will. All right, thanks,
We're
George.
done.
We're getting the wrap. All right, a jam-packed day in sports, including a jam-packed leaderboard at the PGA Championship.
Coming up on the Sports Buzz, Day 3 highlights from Whistling Straits, Lefty Els and VJ leading the way. Plus, we'll check in at Cowboys training camp in Stillwater and also see what Barry's up to now. All that and more still ahead.
But first, going over on your cell phone plan minutes can be expensive, and now there's a new easy way to keep track of your minutes. See how it works next in our in-depth report. And you're looking live at 31st and Memorial. This is Fox 23 News Saturday.
Fox 23 News Saturday continues.
Most people have a cell phone, and most try to pick a plan with enough minutes of talk time, but still many end up paying much more because they go over their minutes. In depth tonight, a look at a new service that promises to keep track and keep you on budget. If you own a cell phone, chances are you've gotten a big bill.
They're totally frustrating. They were double what they should have been.
Double because Cindy Smith went over the free minutes that come with her cell phone plan.
I thought that I was keeping better track myself. It's just incredible how fast the hours go.
She's not the only one. 16.5 million cell phone users in the U.S. go over their minutes.
It can be really expensive.
Up to 45 cents a minute when you go over the limit. Cell phone experts say many carriers allow customers to check their minutes online or on the phone, but many just don't do it.
I think it's that people don't realize that they do have these services, and I don't think that people realize they need to be monitoring themselves at all to begin with until they get that first heart attack bill.
So there are some new services available that track minutes for you.
They just put their cell phone on autopilot.
For $2 a month, Minute Check will track cell phone bills. You give them your account number and tell them when you want the warning.
Or whatever. When you've used 80% of your month's minutes, or 85, or 90, or 95, depending upon what the subscriber chooses, at that point, we'll warn them, we'll alert them.
One cell phone company does the same thing. Sprint also charges $2 a month for a weekly alert. America Online offers warnings to its customers, part of its bill pay service.
It says you have reached so many minutes, of alert warning. You only have so many more minutes left to go this month.
You'll either get a text message, email, or both saying you're about to go over.
It's like having a gas gauge on your cell phone. You wouldn't drive your car without a gas gauge. Why would you use a cell phone without one?
That's why Cindy Smith signed up.
What I like best about the service is that I don't have to do anything. It'll just alert me, and I don't have to think about it.
And here is more information. Many cell phone providers do offer a service that allow you to check minutes using your phone or by just going online. So check with your cell phone company too to see if they can help you track your talk time. Well, as you know, we've had nice sunny weather around here, but not everyone around the country has been this fortunate. Meteorologist George Flickinger joins us now for a check of the national forecast. George, what's going on?
That's right, the remnants of Charlie, the big weather story across the country. Also, take a look at these temperatures. We've been talking about how warm it's been to the west. Right now in Seattle, it is 80 and 73 in Tulsa. It is warmer right now in Washington State than right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Heavy rains falling tonight from the remnants of Charlie making their way up the East Coast. Heavy rains falling in Dover, Delaware, and Wallops Island, Maryland, picking up some heavy rain. That's a quick look at your national weather. More local weather coming up at 9:58.
The Talons kick off their playoff run. Kenny Choi will have highlights that's coming up on the Fox 23 Sports Buzz. But first, hear who attackers were after when they killed more than 100 people at a refugee camp. We're covering the world next. Plus, here's an update to tonight's Fox 23 flash poll. There's still time to vote. You're watching Fox 23 News Saturday.
Complete coverage of Bartlesville, Claremore, and Tulsa. This is Fox 23 News Saturday.
Covering the world tonight, a raid in Burundi kills more than 180 people. We need to warn you, though, that some of this video is graphic and it could be disturbing. It happened in a refugee camp in Gatumba. Witnesses say dozens of people were shot and beaten to death. Many of the victims were women and children. The attackers then set fire to the corpses and homes. They were looking for soldiers who had fled army posts. A Hutu rebel group is claiming responsibility for this attack. And in Iraq, attempts for a truce between militants and U.S. forces in Najaf are unsuccessful. Militants loyal to Muqtada al-Sadr vow revenge as they bury their men who were killed in combat. Other militant groups are preparing for more attacks against U.S. and Iraqi troops. Hundreds of Iraqis and 5 U.S. soldiers have died since the battle started 9 days ago. Also in Najaf, al-Sadr is gaining support. Hundreds of his followers participated in a rally. The supporters came from across the country to see a mosque where they hope to protect the holy shrine against attacks. And supporters say that they will fight for al-Sadr to the death. In the Fox Light tonight, heavy rain dampens the farewell concert of the band Fish.
22 hours, 23 hours it took me to get in here today.
Fans had a long wait as wet weather delays the opening of the concert in Vermont. The jam band Fish is giving its final performances this weekend. Crews had to dump mulch on the field to soak up the mess that the rain left behind, and police turned away cars, but that didn't stop the fans. Thousands of them walked several miles to get to the concert site. Well, Snoop Dogg's facing a lawsuit from an incident that happened 7 years ago. A music promoter says in 1997, the rapper knowingly coerced her to pick up some boxes that were full of marijuana. She was later stopped and searched by police officers. While they didn't arrest her, they did handcuff her, and she claims that was humiliating and defaming. Music fans in the Tulsa area went a little bit country today at the 6th annual A Day in the Country in Glenpool. Country superstars hit the stage for a day of music, including Rhett Atkins, Daryl Singletary, and Emerson Drive. Local artists also got a chance to perform. More than 80,000 fans packed Sharp's Family Farm for this concert. It was free, but area businesses made some money selling food and drinks. Time for the Fox 23 Sports Buzz with Kenny Choi, and the Tulsa Talons back in action.
You know, from now on, it's win or just go home. Now, it seems fitting for the Talons to show up in a playoff shootout. Tonight's semifinal pitted the top-ranked offense in Tulsa versus the 5th-ranked scoring team in Louisville. Round 2 of the Arena 2 football playoffs. Talons hosting the Louisville Fire. Scoreless in the first quarter. Bob Bees, the quick pass to Bjorn Berry. 7-zip Tulsa after the PAT. Nice celebration move. Still first quarter, Talons up 7-3. Bees this time, the sweet touch to Robert Reed, the former Arkansas Razorbacks. Talons in control 14-3. Then on defense, Tulsa showing up tonight as well. Ricky Davis showing us some skills. Check this out. Closes the gap and then puts the big swat and the reject on what could have been a touchdown for the Fire. Taking a look at the scoreboard in the third quarter right now, 33-28 Tulsa. With a win, Talons would host the National Conference Final at home. The first preseason AP football poll is out and about. Now remember, it's all about how you finish, not where you start. Taking a sneak peek, University of Southern California on top with 65 first place votes. Oklahoma ranks second, grabbing 11 votes for the top spot. Georgia, LSU, and Florida State round out the top 5, and at 6 and 7 respectively, it's Miami and Texas. One other note, OU hosts a free scrimmage to the public at Memorial Stadium tomorrow, 5:30 scheduled start. Last week, it was a trip to the NFL Hall of Fame. Today in South Bend, Indiana, Barry Sanders became just the 4th player to be inducted to the Pro and College Football Hall of Fame in the same week. Sanders played for OSU in the late 80s, winning the Heisman in 1988 before playing for the Detroit Lions for 10 seasons. We know drama could be the slogan for a cable network, but it also describes round 2 and 3 of the PGA Championship to perfection. Yesterday, it was Tiger Woods barely making the cut. Today, what would it be? Third round from Haven, Wisconsin. We start with Tiger because you can never count this guy out. Woods shooting a 69 for the second straight day. He's at -3 overall. To the 18th hole we go. Phil Mickelson firing a 31 on the front 9, ends the day with a 10-foot par putt. He's at -8. The second round leaders neck and neck all the way to the finish. Justin Leonard right here with the approach shot. This one's not exactly his best one of the day. This one goes into the greenside bunker. Leonard would bogey and fall to 11 under. Meantime, Vijay Singh finishing up strong, sinks the 6-foot par putt to finish with a 3 under par 69, taking a 1-shot lead at 12 under overall. After round 3, here's how the leaderboard looks. 1 shot separates Vijay and Leonard. 3 shots back, a 5-way tie between Stephen Ames, Darren Clark, Els, Mickelson, and Chris Riley. Here's Lefty with his thoughts going for major number 2.
At least I have a chance. I go play a solid round tomorrow. I know I can shoot quite a few under par on this golf course, and if I do that, I should have a good opportunity.
Now, it's only mid-August, but the NL Central race seems all but wrapped up by the Cards. 13.5 games separate St. Louis and Chicago. To Atlanta we go. Cards trying to make it a Major League best 76 wins. Top of the 5th. Cards down 6-3. H&G Albert Pujols greets Russ Ortiz with a hi and goodbye. Solo shot, his 2nd of the game, 35th of the season. Bottom 7, Braves now down 7-6 when Julio Franco doubles to right, 2 runs come in. Braves go on to win this one 9-7, the final. Rangers hosting Lou Piniella and the Devil Rays tonight. Tampa Bay down 5-4 in the 5th, 2 on. Jorge Cantu lines one up the gut. Run comes in to tie it. All tied up at 5-5. We go to the bottom half of the 5th, still tied. Kevin Mensch puts the bat to the ball, to the seats in left. See ya. 6-5 Rangers in the 7th. Now stay with us. Coming up after the break, we'll recap the day at the Olympics, highlights of the Cowboys and Texans in the NFL, plus it's also time to cowboy up as OSU football kicks it into full gear. We'll have a report from preseason camp. Sports Buzz back before you know it.
Welcome to the NFL on Fox.
You gotta be bad as hell to play this game. You running, baby. You can't stop him. Man, let's come out here tonight and show the world what we really about.
The Green Bay Packers advance.
Welcome back to the Sports Buzz. I'm Kenny Choi. 21 days before the college football season starts, several questions remain unanswered for OSU. Can the Cowboys rely on young talent at the quarterback position? Will the defense step it up after a circumspect season last year? In Stillwater early this morning, day 2 with full gear, head coach Les Miles very careful of what can and cannot be filmed before their season opener against UCLA. The preseason talk is focused mainly on the Cowboys' offensive needs, but it's the defense that returns 9 starters and its entire linebacking core.
I feel like we're going to be really good. I mean, you gotta accept the criticism. When these 3 big guys like that, it's hard to replace. But I think guys are stepping up. I think we're going to be a pretty good team.
They definitely fly around the ball. Got a lot of fast guys. Like Paul said, this is one of the best defenses that I've seen since I've been here. I know I've only been here for a year, but he's been here for 3 or 4, and he's seen quite a few of them. So, I mean, this is a real good defense.
Now the other Cowboys from Dallas taking on Houston in NFL preseason action. Second quarter, Texans up 3-zip. David Carr from Fresno State rolling out and then gunning out to Jabbar Gaffney in the zone. 10-zip Houston. Spike that ball. Still second quarter. Cowboys going the other way. Drew Henson hooking up with Randall Williams. This guy was my teammate in high school, putting in some extra effort for more yards. But then a couple plays later, Henson telegraphs the slant right into interception city, 16-0 Texas in the fourth quarter. For the next 16 days, the Olympics will filter the sports headlines, kind of, since it's on tape delay, and it's also competing, of course, with the start of the football season. Recapping some of the top performances from day 1, America's Michael Phelps winning his first gold medal in the 400 individual medley. It's the first of a possible 8 golds for the 19-year-old. Australia's Ian Thorpe takes the 400-meter freestyle and the first gold medal of the events. Well, that goes to China's Lai Du in air rifle. Now that's a sport for you. And then finally, Team Aussie with a gold in the women's 400 freestyle relay. But of course, the big thing tomorrow, OU going for a scrimmage free to the public, so you can head down there.
Yeah, forget the Olympics around here. The OU scrimmage will roll.
That's the big thing.
All right, great. Right. Thanks a lot,
Absolutely.
Kenny. And Fox 23 News will be right back. But first, here's a look at your flash poll final results. 75% of you say yes. And here's some reminders from this newscast. Look at your 10 o'clock headlines. At least 15 people are dead in Florida after Hurricane Charlie moved through last night. Rescue workers expect to find more bodies as they dig through the rubble. And a 30-year-old soldier from Moore is killed in Afghanistan. The Army says that Sergeant Daniel Lee Galvin died in a helicopter crash. Time for a last check of the forecast with meteorologist George Flickinger. Says things are changing.
Weather's going to be okay for the start of the day. Let's check on the 7-day. 59, cool in the morning for when Diane runs 1,500 miles. And then tomorrow night, there may be some showers and thunderstorms trying to move on in. So we'll be watching for that. Chance of rain late tomorrow.
You're so funny. All right, thanks, George. And we'll have OU scrimmage
highlights
tomorrow. All right, so tune in tomorrow night at 9. Thanks for being here tonight. Have a great Saturday night.